Hi guys, it's Rachel, and today we are making this adorable Moogle cake inspired by the new game Final Fantasy 15, and I am super excited to be working with Square Enix to bring you guys this video. I was so excited when they reached out because I used to play Final Fantasy all the time with my older brother, and it was one of the ways that we kind of like bonded because my brother really liked playing video games and like playing Final Fantasy, and then I really liked hanging out with my older brother, so it kind of was like a way we met in the middle and we just spent time together, and it was super fun. And while I do love, of course, like battling the monsters and doing all of that stuff, I also love how adorable the little Moogle is in the game. He's so cute, and this one is all like fluffy and adorable. It's like a whole new version for Final Fantasy 15, and I think it's super cute, and I'm also really excited to eat it because it's really tasty. And if you guys haven't played Final Fantasy before, it's basically like kind of a fantasy adventure game, and I'll leave a bunch of links about it in the description box below, but it'll be out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One if you guys want to play it and check it out. I highly recommend. It's super fun, and I think that's about it. Let's get started on our cake. To start off with our vanilla cake, you're gonna need 4 room temperature eggs, along with 2 cups of sugar, and you just want to mix that around for about a minute or so. You just want it to get nice and thick and fluffy. So something like this is perfect. Now I'm gonna add in 1 cup of oil, along with 1 cup of milk, then 2.5 cups of flour. This recipe is really nice because you can just mix it all in basically like one go. Now I'm going to add in 2¼ teaspoons of baking powder and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I don't know why I poured the vanilla over the flour. Really not a good idea to do that because then it gets kind of clumpy, but regardless it works out, and you just want to mix that until it gets nice and combined. Then we're just going to pour this into a 9 by 13 inch pan that's just been greased and lined with parchment paper. Then just tap down any air bubbles. And you want to bake that off at 350 for about 35 minutes. And then once it comes out of the oven, it'll look like this. This cake bakes up really nicely. It's kind of like a substitute cake mix where you can bake it in a 9 by 13 pan and it works out super well, nice and flat on top. And now you're going to need your Moogle template. I'll have this linked in the description box below. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut out our Moogle shape. This little guy is so cute. I love how he looks, and the cake is actually perfect for carving him out too. It's soft enough where your knife just glides through it, but it's also durable enough where you can actually carve it. And now I'm just going to go ahead and cut away the excess cake pieces. Don't eat all of those just yet. You're going to need a few of those scraps. I also leveled off my Moogle cake just with a cake leveler to get him nice and even. It's okay if you still have a little bit of caramelization. You just want it to be relatively flat though. And then we're going to transfer him to a baking sheet. I'm just using the back of the baking sheet here because I don't have a plate that's big enough to hold this cake. And then we're just going to cut out the ears with some of the cake scraps. This is a really simple shape, just 2 little triangles. Just like that, and now you can eat the cake scraps. And then I'm just going to trim these up so that they're the same size. Perfect. And now we're going to add these to our cake, just like that. Then we're going to make our Rice Krispie treats, and this is for the arms and legs. So we're starting off with 3 tablespoons of butter. Then I'm going to add in 4 cups of marshmallows. And you're just going to microwave those at 30-second intervals just until it's nice and melted. And then I'm going to add in 4 cups of Rice Krispies. I like to add them in 2 cups at a time just to make it a little bit easier to mix around. So those are the first 2 cups. And now I'm adding in the last bit. And again, just mixing it around. It takes a little bit of muscle power, but I believe in you guys. If I can do this, I know you can do it too. And then it should look something like this. Let that cool for just a little bit before you mold it. And then to mold it, a good tip is to dip your hands in some water first, just so the Rice Krispie treats don't stick as much. And then I'm going to grab a ball of Rice Krispie treats, and we're going to start off by forming the arms. The arms are kind of tapered at one end, so you want to make one end a little bit thinner than the other end. They're also kind of long too. They go past his body, so just keep that in mind. And repeat for the second arm as well. Once you have your 2 arms, go ahead and set those aside. And then just make the legs. The legs are also pretty simple. They're actually even easier than the arms. All you have to do is roll it out into one long shape and then cut it in half at a diagonal. And now I'm just going to add these onto our Moogle cake. So I'm going to start off with the legs. And I'm just bending the end of his leg there, just so he has a little foot as well. And repeat for the other leg too. Then add on the arms. And now you have a fully formed little Moogle. Now it's time to frost our Moogle. I'm just taking some white buttercream frosting here, and I'm just going to pipe out little star shapes. This is going to make our Moogle look super fluffy and adorable. It does take a little bit of time to pipe out all the different stars, but you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, so our Moogle's going to take a little bit of time. And on the bright side, think about how good you're going to be at piping out little star dollop shapes. You're going to be a pro. And I'm only going to pipe white stars on half of the arms and half of the legs because the inside of his legs and arms is kind of a pinky peachy color. And then once I finish that, I'm just going to go in with my pinky peachy frosting and just pipe on the other half. And don't get mad at me, but you gotta pipe stars on the sides as well. I know there's definitely a lot of stars on this cake, but they actually go pretty fast. And now we're just going to make our Moogle wings. So I'm gonna pop my Moogle template underneath some wax paper. Then I'm just going to grab some purple candy melts in a piping bag, and I'm just going to pipe out some wings. When it comes to freehanding things, I am definitely not the best at it, but it's really easy to perfect the shape with a toothpick, so you can just kind of pipe it out roughly at first, and then go in with your toothpick and make the shape look a lot nicer. And I'm going to do my best to replicate this for a second wing as well. As you can see, I did not do so hot there, but it's okay, you can just take your toothpick and perfect the shape. Just like that, nobody even knows what the first step looked like. Except you guys, and everyone else watching this. Alright, well, just forget that happened. You're just gonna refrigerate that until it gets nice and firm, and then peel them off the wax paper. Super easy. And now we're just going to pop these underneath our Moogle. And now we're just going to make the final decorations out of fondant. Here I'm using some light blue fondant to make his little belly, and also a red nose using the same technique, just kind of pushing and pulling and flattening and all that stuff. Just like working with Play-Doh. And I'm also going to make 2 little lines for his eyes. And then once you have those ready, go ahead and place them onto your cake. So I'm starting off with the belly, and it's going to go ahead and press that down. Then we're going to add on his red nose, along with his eyes. The eyes can be a little bit trickier to place, so I just like to use a toothpick to help me with that. And then repeat for the other eye too. So cute. Now I'm just going to add on these stitches of the belly so it looks like a little plush. I'm using some black frosting there. And then at the last minute, I also decided to add on these little ear details. And those are just made of fondant as well. And that's all there is to it, to your adorable Moogle cake. I think this guy is so cute, and I can't wait to eat him too. Alright guys, our Moogle cake is finished now and it looks so cute. I love how it came out. He's all like fluffy and I love all the little stitches on his belly. Overall, it's a super cute cake and it's really tasty too. I'm also really excited to show my brother because he's home for Thanksgiving now and it's kind of like a throwback to those times we used to play together. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget Final Fantasy comes out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. More links about it will be in the description box below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already because I post 2 new videos every week. You can also follow me on social media at Kawaii Sweet Eats, and then check out my website over at kawaiisweetworld.com, and I'll see you guys all very soon. Bye guys!